Hello my lovelies and welcome to the channel. Happy Sunday to you all, and today is my month end roundup video for August. And if you are a regular here, you will know that I do a month end roundup video at the end of each month where I talk about any side hustle income I may have earned throughout the month, any freebies that I might have received, what else? Sinking funds, budgeting. Yeah, just all about what's gone on and what I've spent and what I've bought throughout the previous month. So if you are new here, also, my name is Sharon. I am 62 years old, although that'll only be for another few months. And I had a change of circumstance in January 23 when I moved out of the house that I was living in with a very comfortable financial situation. I moved out on my own and my financial circumstances changed completely. And I started this channel literally 2 years after that happened, just to record my own, I hate the word personal journey. Yeah, just the way I live now, really. So if you're interested in budgeting, personal finance, sinking funds, seeing lots of yellow sticker hauls, then and some recipes thrown in along the way, then you're in the right place, and I would love to have you along. The more the merrier, that's for sure. Okay, so let's get into it. Where shall we start? We shall start with, first of all, the money/budgeting notebook, and then we have the spending diary to go through as well. I've pulled all the receipts out because I put the receipts in, you know, every time I spend some money and get a receipt, basically I put them in my diary, and I've taken those out so they don't fall everywhere. Okay, let's start off. First of all, free samples. Yet again, a very, very poor month. The only free sample that I got this month was this Anthelios UV Air SPF 50+. I don't know if that's one just for your face. I need to read it a little bit more. Oh, it must be. Acts like skincare, feels as light as air. So that's literally going to be one face full, isn't it? Size of my face, like a plate. Yeah, but anyway, it's free. And I do like La Roche-Posay, so it will be nice to give that a try. Very often, if I've got perfume samples, I will work out the mil to see how much the sample is worth to me. But I haven't done it with that. So, there you go. Yeah, so that's the only freebie. Vinted this month, I have made £45. So that's not too bad for very little effort. Top cashback. Last month we finished the end of July on £116.17. Now at the end of August, that amount is £139.53. I've got £1.93 pending still. I think that may be from the monsoon order that I did in July. And we have had £25 referral on top cashback. So one of you lovely peeps has signed up using my link in the description box, and you've obviously spent some money and used the website, and you would have got your bonus, your £25 bonus as well. And I've got my £25 for referring you. So thank you so much to whoever that was. It doesn't give me a name on top cashback, but thank you. Other referrals, Monzo, 0 this month. But if you are looking for a great bank account with the ability to have designated pots for sinking funds in, then definitely give Monzo some thought. And I have a link to my Monzo referral, again in the description box below. I think they do pay up to £50 once you have got the card and spent some money on it within, I think it's 30 days. Then you would get £10. I would get £10, but at the moment I think they're sort of saying it can be up to 50. So there is a chance you could get some more money with that. It's a great account, highly recommend it. If you haven't got it, get yourself some free money and get signed up through my link. So no Monzo referrals this month, so that was 0. Airtime Rewards, which is the app that I have on my phone, which is a passive cashback app, which just tracks when you spend because you have your bank card uploaded into it. And then you earn money that you can pay off of your phone bill directly. So I have £4.66 in airtime rewards, and I've got 82p pending on that as well. And what was that last month? Did I write down what was airtime last month? It was £4.06. Yeah, no, that's wrong. I don't think I've written it down. 466 with 82p pending. Okay. Didn't write down what it was at the end of last month. Probably the same, to be honest, with just the 82p pending, because I've not really spent anything in August for that to have gone up. So I think that's the July Boots scan to recycle. Boots points, they are up only by 6p. I've done no scan to recycle in August. So we have £58.07 in Advantage card points that have mostly been earned due to my scan to recycle drops, where for each scan to recycle process, you earn 500, basically £5 worth of Advantage card points. And then Amazon Shopper Panel, which I've spoken about a few times, has now changed. You can no longer upload receipts. It offers you some surveys here and there. And for the month of August, I have earned £1.90 in surveys that I have done throughout this month. So we were over on the food shop. And of course, like the absolute professional YouTuber that I am, luckily, it's the first page at the back of the spending diary. We were over on the food shop by £118.70. Not too sad about it, because I have kind of got a bit of a buffer now, which I never had before. And that is because in May, when my phone contract came to an end, I am still with the same provider, but I'm SIM only, so my phone bill has gone down considerably. So I do, after all my bills have been paid, whereas every single penny used to be accounted for, now I've got a little bit of money sitting in my current account to act as a buffer. So I'm calling that my buffer money. And if there's anything left in the buffer, the day or the night before my monthly salary goes in, then I can always take that out, pop it in a sinking fund, or pop it into savings. So that is my kind of buffer fund. I haven't got a pot entitled buffer. It's just the money sitting there. Although if there is anything left at the end of each month, then I could actually have a pot in Monzo called buffer and put the money in there. So for me, it's not an emergency fund. I have got one of those. My emergency fund would be, for anything that's an emergency. The buffer is just to like get me through monthly for incidentals. For example, I know on hot days I've been out in town doing my errands and needed a drink and gone into a newsagent's and bought a bottle of drink, not even logged it in my spending diary because I've got no receipt, and I've just paid for it out of my bank account. So I know I've got that little buffer that I can do things like that. I know I've done that twice because I can think of the fact that I went in Starbucks once and bought a coffee. Another time I went in the newsagents and bought a drink. So yeah, that's kind of like my buffer money is not a sinking fund per se, but it might become one. You know, the good thing with sinking funds and budgeting, I feel they're always a work in progress, and we all do things completely differently. And I love how everybody does their own thing, and we always pick up ideas from each other, which I think is fantastic. Not just from other YouTubers, but also from you wonderful people who leave comments with hints and tips for me and the wider community as well. So always thank you for that. YouTube income for, this is for July. So this was paid earlier in the week. So it's always paid at the end of 1 month for the whole month before. So the end of August payment is for July. And I will put something up if I can, a little picture of it when I saw it had come in on my old phone, because that's where my current account app is. £102.82. So it wasn't too hard to kind of work out the 20% for tax and 15% for the charitable donation, was it? Because we were only £2.82 over the £100. So just, yeah, basically said £20 for tax, £15 for the food bank shop, which I have yet to do. And then into my savings with the remainder of £67.82. So that's the YouTube. Now on to what I spent in the month of August. So over to the spending diary. I have my food shopping logged in here, but I'm not going to do the food shopping because we have discussed how much I went over. And also to say that one of you guys said to me, if ever you're like running low on money, they said that they took it from the next month's. So I've done that. So outside of the £18 that I went over, I'm already into and using September's food budget money. I mean, honestly, it's just mental. I can't even say. Okay, so the first money that I spent was the 6th of August. So other than food shopping, I bought nothing until the 6th. And I spent £3.99. And this was on a Instagram ad for these electrolytes. You got, I've just picked a handful out of the cupboard. You got 30 electrolytes for just the cost of postage, which was £3.99. I've really wanted, there's a few supplements I really would like to be taking, as well as electrolytes, which I'd like to have daily, just to keep up hydration. I'm not a massive water drinker, so having, you know, one sort of large glass of drink or putting it into some sort of drinking vessel, of which I've got many in the kitchen that I never use, yeah, would be ideal for me to have electrolytes every day. But we're just using these up at the moment for £3.99. It was a subscription thing, but I went straight in and paused it straight after these arrived. So yeah, £3.99 spent there. And then on the 7th of August, I spent £7.74 in Savoury, which you would have seen in a Wednesday video some time ago, where, what did I buy? White vinegar, a microfiber cloth, I seem to recall. Can't remember what else I got, but £7.74 in Savoury. Then the next day that we spent some money was on the 11th, Monday the 11th, so going into that full second week now. £15 deposit for an afternoon tea. So it's £10 deposit per person, but me and another one of my friends are going halves, because we're in like a group of 3 of us. We're going halves on my friend's afternoon tea because it's a special birthday for her. It was my friend's idea. Oh, why don't we treat her to afternoon tea? And you know when you think, oh God, like I've not got enough to pay out. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, that'd be lovely. I'm sure she's going to really appreciate it. And I will enjoy it too, because I've had afternoon tea at this particular place before. and it's probably the best afternoon tea I've ever had. And I've had a lot of afternoon teas over the years. Not recently, since I've lived here, but over the years. So £15 deposit, that was £10 for me, £5 towards my friend's £10 deposit. And that was Monday the 11th. And then we had a spenny day on Tuesday the 12th. Oh, I did leave a receipt or two in here. They were falling out. Didn't see those ones. Tuesday the 12th. I took my 2 eldest grandchildren to the cinema and I paid for it, $28.97. And that night was when we bought the tickets for Wicked. My daughter and son-in-law paid £100 and I paid $27.50. So the cost of our 3 tickets was $27.50. The matinee tickets were, I think they were £39. Were they $39.50 each or £39? Can't remember. And I think I paid £3 as a little insurance policy thing, just in case anything happened and we couldn't go. Because I thought, well, you never know if someone gets ill. We've got COVID going round again. You just don't know, do you? So I did pay that £3, but obviously that didn't get used. So that was a spenny day. And then on Wednesday the 13th, I bought a birthday present for £12. Then on the 14th, Thursday the 14th, I had my roots done and my hair cut. I know it always looks the same length. It's because she cuts, whatever the roots have grown, she cuts off. So if it's ½ an inch, she take ½ an inch off. Just kind of keeps it at the same length all the time because I don't like it too long at my age. I think it suits a lot of people, but I'm someone that probably wouldn't suit it much shorter than it currently is, and certainly not longer because it grew quite long in COVID, and I was 5 years younger then, and I thought I was beginning to look like a witch. So yeah, we don't want to go any longer personally. Next day, Friday the 15th of August, I spent £1.39 in Card Factory. That was on a gift bag. And then on Saturday the 16th, I ordered some coffee pods from Amazon for £3.45. But I had earned more than £3.45 in July on Amazon Shopper Panel when they were still taking receipts. So those were completely free. So we didn't need to count those in the spending money for the month. Monday the 18th, completely influenced by a YouTube video that I watched. And I mean, I've been on YouTube for absolute years and years, but not in the kind of genre that I'm now in. Anyway, basically, somebody had shown some things they'd got from Look Fantastic. They had their own code for money off, plus Look Fantastic had a sale on. So I think it was obviously in the lead up to the bank holiday. And a couple of products that she showed, I was totally taken in by. So yeah, thank goodness for sinking funds, right? Never had this. I don't know if it's new. Never seen it. Never had it. Love it. The texture of it is absolutely lovely. Amber Soleil Ideal Bronze Tan Enhancing Oil Factor 30. So an SPF for the body. Right, let's put a little tiny bit on my hand because I don't want to waste any of it, because we're going to want that for next year. Oh, it feels really, really nice and sinks in. Really lovely. Oh, it doesn't smell too bad either. So yeah, that's not going to get used this year, is it really now? But I had completely run out of sun cream. And if I'm walking about and it's hot, you know, in a short sleeve dress, I still like to put SPF on my arms and that. And I haven't got any, so I have got that. But I haven't really used it since I got it. And then the other item was also sun care. And this is from The Ordinary, from their sun care range. couple of the Ordinary products I really do love, but I've never had SPF for the face. This is SPF 45, and this is a serum. Most facial SPFs are a 30 or a 50. This is a 45. Quite strange. Not very big, but these things never are. Let's see if I can get any out. Oh, yeah. Only a little weeny bit, because, again, we don't want to waste it. So this is a serum SPF. So unlike a sort of facial lotion, yeah, that feels really, really nice. So I was influenced to buy those. And one more thing. This Kiko lip pencil. Now, I needed a lip pencil. This one is in shade 04. So I always go for these sort of pinky, nudie type shades. And I'll show you the colour, like so. The influencer, the YouTuber, used this, and then when I went to look for it, at the top of the page of this particular brand, which is called Kiko, K-I-K-O, how do they do that? There you go. Was a bundle deal that came with a lipstick and the lip liner for £11 because it was in the sale. So I got that as well. What I didn't realise, because I just bought it because I thought, well, that's a good price. This is like a balm, so there's not a lot of colour to it at all. Feels good though. But that will pep up lipstick, because I only put lipstick on in the morning. Even if I go out after work to the supermarket or whatever, I normally put a bit of gloss over it to just kind of like revive what's left of the lipstick. And that will work quite well for that. So, yeah. That was that spend, £28.98. Then, the next day that I spent money, that was the Monday. Then on Thursday, the 21st, we went to the theatre to see Wicked. And I spent £63.17. I paid our train fare. Kids went for £1, £27.10. So my ticket was £25.10 to London. Snacks in the theatre, because I got rinsed for those once we'd walked in. Oh, can we have something to eat? Can we have something to eat? We'd just sat and eaten a pack-up lunch on the train. But no, they see the popcorn, they see the sweets, they want it. They don't know the prices. £15.10 I spent on popcorn and sweets. And that was one bag of sweets, by the way. One tub of popcorn and a drink. Disgraceful. And then on the way home, at the train station, we got a McDonald's to eat on the train on the way home, because it was sort of past their dinner time by then. And I was shocked at the cost of McDonald's. £20.97 for the three of us. But they are 8 and 10. They didn't have kids' meals. They had full-size meals. So £63.17 was spent there. Then, and this is sounding like a really spenny month, isn't it? It really is. Let me just say, I need to say something. Sorry, I've got to go back. That £63.17 and the £27 that finished off the cost of the tickets after my daughter and son-in-law had paid the £100, I took that money from the pension money that I'd got through, which I've talked about on here previously. That very small pension that I found, which I got 467 quid after tax. That came out of that. That was my treat. That was my treat to them out of that money. Okay, where are we? Monday the 25th, I bought a bottle of perfume for £35, which is worth 170, and it was for sale in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in. So I often pick up things on the cheap in these groups that I'm in. So that was an absolute great bargain. They have very tight admin and rules, and if something comes out of, say, like a kit or a beauty box or an advent calendar, the admins of the group work out the fair price. And that's how you can get a really good deal on sometimes on things that are really quite expensive. So the Harrods Advent Calendar has got something like 11 perfumes in it, I think. 7 a full size, 4 a travel size. They take the overall cost, say, of that advent calendar and they break it all down, and the admin sets the cost of something like that. So that's how come I got that amazing perfume for that money. Because perfume isn't something I would ever buy myself usually. I buy samples, I have done occasionally, but it's something that I would always have on my Christmas or birthday list. I can't remember the last time I bought myself a bottle of perfume. So yeah, that was a first. On Tuesday, 26th, £1.38 in Savers on some antihistamines. And then that's it. That is all of my spending for August, but I've added it all up and that makes it sound spenny. So this has all come from, for example, the birthday gift, of course, came from the birthday sinking fund. The hair appointment came out of the hair sinking fund. The Look Fantastic order and the perfume came out of my self-care fund, and so on and so forth. So although everything, you know, it's not like I've spent all of this money out of 1 month's salary, it's all come out of individual sinking funds or out of that pension pot that I got. And the total spend for the month of August, when you add it up, you know, it makes the old heart go a bit, even though you know you had it covered. £285.12. Sounds an awful lot, doesn't it, guys? It does sound an awful lot. So that's been pretty much my months. Let me know how you got on with your budget. Did you have any major overspends? Did you go over on your food budget? Are your sinking funds empty like a lot of mine are now? Just, yeah, how are you getting on? And then leading on to the fact that tomorrow is the 1st of September, I've been very much intrigued by a video that Alex put up over at Live Your Best Budget Life. Alex put up a video the other day talking about a financial challenge. And I normally always say, I don't really do challenges because, you know, I have so many no spend days. I mean, I could, you know, count those in here quite easily because I keep a diary just as a spending diary. I can easily see how many no spend days I've got. So things like that, I don't really do. But Alex was talking about a challenge that I'd never heard of before. And it's called the 75 Hard. So pop over there and have a little look at her video and obviously show her channel some support, if you will, because she's a newbie. And I was intrigued by this challenge. And I have looked it up myself to get some more information on it. And I think some things will definitely apply to me. A lot I feel I already do anyway. But I think it could be really, really super useful for anybody who's watching the channel because they may not yet be budgeting. They may be looking at ways to save money or to cut back on certain things that they are spending out on currently. I think it could be super duper useful. So I'm just going to pop over to my laptop and I'm just going to quickly show you what Google says about this particular challenge, because it's kind of based on, apparently there's a fitness challenge called the 75 Hard. Well, you know I'm not going to be doing that. But this has been adapted to use the same title, but for a financial challenge that you do for 75 days, which is hopefully going to give you, obviously increase your knowledge around financial matters and to help you obviously to budget, to save money here and there, and maybe to make some extra money on the side as well. So I'm just going to run through that with you guys. I can't get this stupid tripod to stand any better than that, guys. But this is the information that I found out because I was keen to Google it after I had seen Alex's information on the 75 Hard Financial Challenge. So it's a money-focused variation of the popular 75 Hard Mental Toughness program. Instead of focusing on physical fitness, it's a 75-day regime of strict daily habits designed to improve financial discipline and resilience. If you miss a task on any day, you must start over from day one. I think Alex said with this one, you don't really have to do that. But these are kind of the rules. The rules can be adapted to individual financial situations, but a typical challenge includes the following daily tasks. Set a spending limit. Adhere to a daily discretionary spending limit, such as 1% of your monthly take-home pay. The next rule, eliminate debt-based spending. Stop using credit cards, buy now, pay later schemes, and other forms of credit for all purchases. The goal is to live within your means by only spending what you can afford. Next rule, increase your income. Spend 45 minutes daily researching, learning, or actively working on a side hustle to increase your income. So I think, as Alex said, this could be doing something like Vinted. I've mentioned many times before that any money from sales that I make on Vinted, I normally use for new clothes, or I have more recently sometimes used it for beauty or skincare products, rather than selling loads of stuff and putting the money into savings. So everybody, of course, is different in how they, you know, what they do with their Vinted sales money. So yeah, 45 minutes daily, actively working on a side hustle to increase your income. So say, for example, for me, that could be YouTube, because that is, now that I'm monetized, a side hustle income that I'm receiving. And also somebody did mention in the comments of one of my recent videos, what could I do to increase any earnings from a sort of social media platform or something like that. And that gave me a lot of food for thought. And I thought also, you know, possibly could I have an account on TikTok just called like yellow sticker hauls or something like that, just showing my shopping. But the thing for me, anything else, it's just time. You know, I just feel like there aren't enough hours in the day as it is, let alone taking on something else. It can really be a struggle sometimes to get 2 videos done for YouTube. So I'm not sure on that one. Please excuse me. But I need to do something for sure. The next rule is educate yourself. Read 5 to 10 pages of a finance-related book or listen to a personal finance podcast for 15 minutes. This builds knowledge and healthy financial habits. So that is definitely something that I could implement, because, yeah, I need to get on top of this trading 212. I really want to be able to have a stocks and shares ISA. I just need somebody really to be with me, in front of me, showing me actually how to set it up, and getting the pieces of the pies together with the companies that I want to invest in. I've only checked out one YouTube video so far that somebody recommended, but it kind of didn't really give me, you know, I need a walkthrough really. But anyway, we shall see. Next rule, track your progress, document your expenses and progress on a tracking sheet. Daily tracking provides accountability and helps you visualize your progress. Well, I pretty much feel that I do that anyway. to be honest with you, because everything I spend does go into my spending diary. And then the last rule, practice gratitude, optional. Of course, not everybody's into gratitude or journaling or manifestation. I understand that, and that is optional. I don't think Alex mentioned that. I'm not sure, can't remember now. But yeah, some versions include a 10-minute daily gratitude journal whilst outdoors. This practice is meant to build contentment and reduce the impulse to spend. So I guess you could journal how you feel the day's gone, if you've stuck to the rules of the challenge, and any benefits that you've had that day from doing it, any small wins. And the potential benefits of the 75 Hard Challenge: increased savings. By strictly limiting unnecessary purchases, many people finish the challenge with dramatically increased savings. One version of the challenge estimates participants could save 30 to 40% of their salary by adhering to a 1% daily spending limit. Well, I definitely won't be doing the 1% daily spending limit. I have sinking funds that cover most of any spending that I do. Also benefits from improved financial mindset. The challenge helps you build mental toughness and a better relationship with money. For many, the consistent focus and accountability are a catalyst for changing their spending habits long term. Another benefit could be to reduce debt. By banning credit card use, the challenge helps participants reduce debt and learn to live within their means. Some people use the 75 days to audit and create a payoff plan for existing debt. And finally, sustainable habits. Although the rules are strict, the goal is to build consistent financial habits that last beyond the 75 days. The daily repetition is key to forming new behaviours. And I definitely agree with that, how my life has gone and how I track everything financially. I do think it does help to do that. Is it right for you? Of course, commitment is required. The start over if you fail rule demands extreme discipline. But like I said, I think Alex said with this one, you don't have to start back at day one of the 75 days. If you do fall down or you do use your credit card or have some unplanned spending, time intrusive, of course, spending time each day on budgeting, tracking and financial education requires a significant time commitment. Well, I've always said, even in my previous home, in my previous life, I have budgeted for years. And it does take time and effort to save money and to make money, whether it means you're walking around the supermarket for an hour before the reduction lady comes out and starts putting the yellow stickers on. You know, things like that. Searching out bargains, researching online before you make a purchase if there's something specific you want. I have always said it takes time to save or make money, and I truly believe that. It also requires self-awareness because you set your own spending limits and financial learning goals. The challenge works best for people who can honestly assess their financial situation and spending habits. And it says you can consider softer alternatives. If you are prone to financial stress or a history of spending problems, a less rigid alternative may be more appropriate. Other versions, like 75 Soft rather than hard, promote more flexible and sustainable habits. So if you think this sounds a little bit too harsh or too hard for you, you could have a Google of 75 Soft. I definitely, like I said, feel that this will certainly help people in the run up to Christmas, and helping to get on top of their finances if they are currently not budgeting. But definitely go over and check out Alex's video on Live Your Best Budget Life, where she talks about it a little bit more in depth. This is just what I researched. I definitely think I'm going to take part in it, even though I feel I do a lot of these things already. There are definitely things there that I can benefit from. And certainly the 15 minutes podcast or YouTube video or something like that. You could look out in the charity shops for any finance related books. I can remember years ago, one of my son-in-laws had a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I think that was quite a popular book at the time. You might be able to pick things up like that in the charity shop. Might be worth having a look, because you don't want to be spending money when you don't really need to. So yeah, let me know what you think. So guys, I hope you found that of interest. Just check out Alex's video, have a little Google, and if you think you are up for the challenge, obviously tomorrow being the 1st of September is the perfect day to take something on, especially in the lead up to Christmas, where you might be, you know, looking at having some extra money for presents or entertaining at Christmas or socialising or whatever it may be. Could be a really good time to start. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think about everything. I love your comments. I always appreciate you for stopping by, for all your support, for your likes, for your comments. And if you're not yet subscribed, don't forget, it costs you nothing, but it really will help me out. So thank you so much, and I will see you on Wednesday with some grocery shopping and maybe some recipes. We'll see how we get on. Take care guys, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.